While Hamilton has continued to verbally pledge his loyalty to Mercedes, and both he and team boss Toto Wolff have dropped several hints that a deal is nearly complete, things do not appear to be looking so good between the two parties. In a surprising turn of events at the 2023 F1 Austrian Grand Prix, tensions seem to have arisen between Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff and his star driver Lewis Hamilton. While it is well known that Wolff has never publicly admonished Hamilton in the past, an intriguing incident during the race has left fans wondering if the dynamic between the two is undergoing a significant shift. Let's take a detailed look at this. Prior to the Austrian Grand Prix, there was anticipation surrounding the announcement of Hamilton's contract extension with Mercedes. Wolff had previously expressed confidence that the deal would be finalised soon, but on Sunday, he disclosed that there would be no contract announcement ahead of the British Grand Prix. This revelation, coupled with Wolff's explanation that the negotiations were focused on factors beyond money and duration, suggested that the discussions were becoming more intricate and comprehensive. During the Austrian GP, Hamilton's dissatisfaction with the performance of his car became increasingly evident through his remarks on the team radio. He lamented that the car was too slow and voiced his frustration about his competitor's speed. Additionally, Hamilton vehemently protested against the track limits penalty imposed on him, insisting that it was unfair. Despite attempts by his race engineer to assuage his concerns, Hamilton persisted with his complaints, prompting intervention from Toto Wolff. On lap 52 of the race, as tensions mounted, Toto Wolff interjected during a team radio exchange between Hamilton and the Mercedes pit crew, stating, "Lewis, the car is bad, we know. Please drive it." This marked the first time Wolff openly confronted Hamilton during a race, signalling a potential shift in their relationship. This exchange marked a departure from the norm in their decade-long relationship. While Hamilton has occasionally expressed frustration during races in the past, it was unprecedented for Wolff to interject and urge his driver to concentrate on his driving. When asked the reasoning behind Wolff's radio message, Hamilton simply replied, "I don't know, you'll have to ask him." Wolff said his message was meant well and sees it having no issue in contract talks. He said, "You should hear us talking on the phone and meeting each other. That was nothing. No, not at all. Will it have an impact? We've had a bad spell of a weekend, all of us in the team, and that just makes us stronger." However, speculation arises as to whether Toto Wolff's patience with Lewis Hamilton is starting to wane, especially after the driver's repeated comments in the media. While the specifics remain speculative, Wolff's comments could be interpreted as a reflection of the mounting impatience with Hamilton's repeated outbursts both on and off the track. The lengthier than expected contract negotiations, coupled with Hamilton's recent public comments, may have contributed to a perceived need for Wolff to remind his driver of his primary focus, driving the car. Lewis Hamilton is currently feeling dissatisfied because the Mercedes car for this Formula One season is not performing well. It's clear that the team is unlikely to be competitive for the championship, and the best Hamilton can hope for is occasional podium finishes when conditions are favourable. Given these circumstances, Hamilton has openly shared his frustration with the public. The first instance of Hamilton voicing his concerns emerged during the Bahrain race, where he openly remarked that the team had failed to consider his input during the car's design phase. Interestingly, this sentiment was echoed by Toto Wolff, who also criticised the 2023 F1 Challenger and emphasised the need for changes to be made. Since then, while Wolff has taken a backseat in the public eye, working diligently behind the scenes to implement alterations, Hamilton's comments have varied from race to race. In Barcelona, he offered praise for the recovery efforts undertaken by the Mercedes team. However, amidst these sporadic compliments, Hamilton consistently conveys that the car itself is the main obstacle to his success on the track. Moreover, Hamilton has not shied away from divulging details that shed a less favourable light on Mercedes. Even in Austria, he claimed that the team's current changes were requested by him more than a year ago, implying a lack of responsiveness on their part. While Toto Wolff has maintained a resilient front, occasionally even supporting Hamilton's claims, the situation appears less than ideal as the lead driver continues to make disparaging comments about the rest of the team. Toto Wolff may have reached a breaking point with Lewis Hamilton's persistent complaints leading to his comments during the Austrian GP. But how will this affect Lewis Hamilton's contract situation? The contract extension negotiations between Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes have been dragging on for an extended period, leaving fans and the Formula One community in a state of uncertainty. The talks were initially expected to commence last season when Hamilton expressed his interest in continuing with the team. However, both the driver and the team have provided only vague updates with no concrete date for the contract extension announcement. Although there was widespread belief in the paddock that the extension was merely a formality, Toto Wolff clarified after the F1 Austrian Grand Prix that no announcements would be made at Silverstone. With half of the season already over and only 6 months remaining on the current contract, speculation arises as to whether Toto Wolff is growing frustrated with Hamilton's reluctance to sign an extension with Mercedes. Could this hesitation indicate a lack of confidence in the team's potential? As for the race itself, it held minimal significance in the context of the World Championship, which Max Verstappen currently leads by a substantial 81 points over his teammate Sergio Perez. However, the Austrian Grand Prix provided a platform for Verstappen to showcase his dominance to the delight of the 70,000 passionate Dutch fans in attendance. Starting from pole position, Verstappen briefly relinquished the lead to Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, but swiftly regained it at turn 3 on lap 35. From that point onwards, Verstappen's victory seemed assured, as he cruised to a 5.1 second triumph over Leclerc. Verstappen's commanding performance was further exemplified by his decision to pit late in the race to secure the fastest lap and claim maximum points. With a comfortable 24-second gap separating him from the rest of the field, Verstappen's victory was virtually sealed. The result solidified his status as the one to beat in the 2023 season, leaving his competitors in the dust. The undeniable truth is that Hamilton remains an elite talent. He has displayed consistent high-level performances. However, it is difficult to ignore the presence of younger drivers on the grid who could potentially challenge Hamilton if given a similarly competitive car. Drivers like Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris would eagerly seize the opportunity to switch teams. With such enticing options available, Toto Wolff, the astute businessman that he is, will undoubtedly be considering the alternatives. Thus far, there has been no indication that Wolff is contemplating hiring someone other than Hamilton. Hamilton has been portrayed as Mercedes' top and only choice. However, the meandering nature of the contract negotiations is causing speculation, and Wolff, always mindful of his team's best interests, will be keeping a close watch on the situation. While Hamilton should be considered the first choice for Mercedes in the 2024 F1 season, certain factors warrant attention. Hamilton's continued criticisms of the design team, the ongoing delays in contract negotiations, the absence of a contract announcement at Silverstone, and the availability of alternatives all contribute to an atmosphere where Wolff may need to prioritise the team's interests alongside Hamilton's. As to whether Wolff is losing patience with Hamilton, we can only speculate. However, it is evident that the protracted contract negotiations are wearing on the Mercedes boss, particularly with less than 6 months remaining on Hamilton's current contract. The forthcoming months will be crucial in determining the future trajectory of Hamilton's career and his relationship with Mercedes. It remains to be seen whether a resolution will be reached that satisfies both parties and solidifies Hamilton's place within the team. Mercedes has struggled so far this season, but with a large upgrade package coming to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, we're hoping to see the team fight for a spot on the podium. Toto Wolff's patience is wearing thin due to Hamilton's perceived lack of faith in a team that has achieved tremendous success together. Could this underlying tension have played a role in Wolff's recent outburst? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.